Now, the problem is when you're saying from somewhere in Timbuktu, right, where I don't even know you, right, you think I'm this or you think I'm that, gay, straight, bi, whatever it is, right, that's still your opinion and 30 years ago, right? You can say it, but you just seem like you have an agenda, like you're gay yourself. And still I'm your focus. Or in other words, you're wanting me to be gay with you and I keep telling you no, I'm not gay, right? What it seems like to me or most people, right? Don't you see what you're doing? It's just as much your fault as you're trying to make it my fault alone, right? See, the problem is two people have to sin, period, right? And usually when that occurs, someone is lying to someone about something they're supposed to tell the person that had they known that fact, they wouldn't have behaved the same way towards the person, which makes it the other person's responsibility as well, right? Otherwise, what are we all doing here but trying to trick each other into making mistakes, right? Now, if it involves more than one person, yeah. Like I keep telling you about the stepdaughter or the girl or the Comcast girl or anyone. If I could get along with someone, I have to get along with them to have sex with them, right? Otherwise, you can't do nothing with the person. First thing is, how do you know what you know about it? Yet I would have to ask someone their age. And if you're acting weird about it, that's all I got to do to make sure I'm not trying to be with an underage girl is ask the girl's age, right? Or the woman's age, right? Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth and that all you're being is an argumentative jackass? Right? I'm not going after a 15-year-old girl knowingly. Like most assholes who do that do. Right. They don't care the girl's 15. I'm telling you, I would care and ask her age and try not to be with a 15-year-old. Right. Even if she's working illegally or not. Right. And in Georgia, she would have to have a work permit to work at 15 in any job. It's not up to you. The state made it a law. No. Not Shane, not Michelle, not her employer. The state did. No. Idiot. That a 15-year-old has to have a work permit to even work in Georgia before she turns 16. All right. After 16, she don't need one, by the way. Nope. She can do whatever she wants to do, as far as that's concerned, right? That's what I keep telling you, right? No. Though the only one getting someone in trouble is you, the girl, and then you're trying to blame me for not knowing the girl's 15, right? Like I'm supposed to know that somehow, right? Or who you even mean just because you had her call herself Michelle, right? Like I don't know a Michelle around me before I met that girl named Michelle. And that you're trying to make it bad that Michelle lied to me or something, right? About her age, right? You're then telling me she lied to me about her age when I asked her age. And I asked her for typical questions you ask someone you meet for the first time, right? Especially working in a nail salon, right? Especially if it's an Asian girl, right? You might even ask her where she's from. Is she from Vietnam or China or something like that? And it's not considered rude or irrational to ask these questions. How long has she been working, right? Things like that, right? How old is she? Right. If you can't really tell, so you're just being polite about it. And if she says 37, you say, oh, well, you look younger than that or something. Right? And, usually, right? If she that happens to look younger than 37, right? In your opinion, right? Which is all you have when you go into a store for the first time, is your first impression of the person, right? And then you got to get to know the person by asking them questions. See. First, her name, Michelle, right? Then where she's from, New Jersey, right? Then her age, 37, right? Then, well, what's your education status? Well, I completed college or university or whatever she said, right? Now, if she tells you all that up front, you're going to think she's probably, part of the management team or something like that, right? So if she were to come on to you, you would just think, hey, I'm getting lucky with a 37-year-old girl or woman. Yeah, or person. And you've been looking for an Asian girl to hook up with or get into a relationship with, right? And I told you that would work for me too, right? If I was to get into a relationship with one, I would definitely like that, right? So you're using what I'm telling you to set me up with an underage girl. Not me actually going after an underage girl. Do you understand the difference legally? I know. What that means, I know. Mm-hmm. If you know there's a real 15-year-old girl working in the store and no one tells me when I go into the store, I don't know, right? I'm not equipped or clairvoyant enough to avoid that. Never said I was, right? So again, like Samson and Delilah. Mm-hmm. By the time Samson told Delilah it was his hair, do you not think he was doubting his strength came from his hair by then? Right. And was it testing the Lord himself? Right. To see if what would happen if he were to let them cut his hair. Right. Yet another thing they didn't think about is the hair would grow back, by the way. The Philistines themselves. Right. Which is how he finally, as they were gathering together in their temple to worship their god Dagon, right, whatever they call him, right, and all that, which does check out historically, by the way, too, right? So that means at least someone in the area knew what was going on with even the Philistines and the name of their god, right? Right? Yeah, that's not common knowledge either, unless you're around them. You know what I mean? Right. Right. So at the same time, why did Samson, after so long, finally give in to Delilah asking him the secret of his strength, right? And finally tell her he loved her, right? He knows they're pressuring her, right? Like with his first wife, right? They were trying to plow Delilah's for the information, right? Or get the information from her through sex. Yeah, and try to get Samson to fall in love with her and tell her his secret, right? Now, once he did, who's tempting the Lord there? Samson, right? By then, he's just doubting, right, that his strength really comes from his hair, and he's in his own mind when he, after it's cut, right, still thinks he's going to raise up and defeat him like before, but then he's cut short and couldn't, right? And then he's the same as every other man, right? Because he didn't trust in the Lord, right? And and told Delilah his secret, right? That the angel had told his parents, right? Right. So it's the angel who told them what to do with the child as it grew older, right? And then when he doubted the angel and told Delilah the secret the angel had told his parents, right? He lost all the strength, right? that he had beforehand, right? But the other thing the Philistines didn't think about is hair grows back, right? Again, like I keep asking you, why are you on about someone's hairline when the hair looks perfectly fine 4 years later, right? And you're on about it every day, right? And trying to get on my case about it like something's different the next day when it's the same hairline the next day too for 4 years, right? And counting. Every day it's the same. What are you trying to do? Shave my hair off at night and then grow back by morning? Right? Well, why can the Lord do that with me but not with Samson? Because my strength is in the Lord, right? Not in my hair. I didn't have an angel stand over me and tell me, right, my strength was in my hair. No, my faith is in Jesus Christ and the God who raised him from the dead. Right. Oh. And that, again, changes things, right? And that's why it's different, right, here. For that particular situation. Yeah. And what it means is, if you cut my hair off, unlike with Samson's, it can perhaps grow back the same night, right? Because I didn't cut it myself, right? And then perhaps you even tried to kill me over something, right? And again, it's just hypothetical, but that's why it's growing back the same too. I'm not tempting the Lord, you are, right? Another point as well. Now, as far as gay, straight, or bi is concerned, once the person tells you they're straight, you're not supposed to refute them. And you're trying to just refute me, right? Which means you're being argumentative about it, right? Well, anyone can argue with you about being gay, straight, or bi, but what proves it is, do you try to sleep with men or women, right? I'm trying to date women, not men, right? Still to this day, right? So you're not proving anything but that you want me to be gay with you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I won't be gay with you. I keep telling you that. No. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. The quote in Vogue, right? And see, that I'm quoting the song and the lyrics, right? And the melody, right? Under fair use. Because, see, anyone can use the phrase, you're never going to get it, right? Because it's a phrase, right? Anyone can use, too. If someone you keep telling them they're wrong and they act like you're doing something you're not doing, they're just never going to get it, right? Themselves either. And you're also telling them they're not going to get what they want from you no matter how long they keep lying about it as well. And they're lying about it now, is what you're telling them. And they're still never going to get it, right? And they don't have to get it. They can't prove you did anything because all they got is hearsay or someone else's changing what they said now versus then, right? And anyone can lie on you too, right? At any time, and that's what I'm saying. Ben didn't get it, and you ain't gonna get it by lying on me and Ben. Or by pretending Ben is telling you something he never told you, right? I don't even know you know Ben, and I don't care if you know Ben. And then I'm going to say Ben's lying now because I don't recall doing nothing with him. And why? And I'll give you a list of why I know I wasn't with Ben, right? I won't just simply deny it. I'll prove it. I didn't try to sleep with Ben, right? And you can't say that's evil or wrong of me, right? To say I was never having sex with men, right? That's up to me, not you, who I have sex with or not. What's wrong with you, a-hole? Control freak. You can't make me do something I refuse to do. Even if you're trying to murder me to cover your sin, right? It's to try and cover your sin, not me sinning with you the way you want me to sin with you, right? If I call it a sin, it's a sin to me, right? And I'll never do something I think I'm not supposed to do, right? Willingly or, knowingly, especially sex with men, right? You can control that by simply not doing it, idiot. By not trying to get around gay people. That's another way you don't do it. You don't get around gay people? No. So I only go out to the movies, right? And I don't try to sleep with someone in the movie theater. That don't work, right? And if I do try to sleep with someone that's a female, I'm going to try to get along with her where I have what's called privacy, right? Between me and her, right? And the only two who would know what happened then is me and her. Not you, me and her. And that's also why I'm not really sure what happened, and I keep telling you that too, right? The only one who can prove she lied to me is Michelle herself, right? But she can't lie on the stand. That's perjury, right? See, you can say anything you want in reality, right? On YouTube, right? But you gotta prove it in court, right? You can't prove it in court. I'm not using fair use myself, right? You are. I am. I'm using the same fair use we can all use for any written subject matter or material, right? All you got to do is list a source you got the material from. Like, even if you say, I learned it in biology class in school from the school book, right? And let's say you don't know the publisher or any real details, but it's something we can all know, right? Like wet dreams, for example, and what those are, versus someone consciously masturbating or humping the bed, for example, right? While awake, right? Those are also two different things, right? Which one you can do and not be aware of, and the other one you're more aware of you're doing, right? And there's a difference there too, right? Whoever this person is and whatever their agenda is, they seem focused and determined to prove I want to be gay with them, right? And I keep telling them, no, I didn't, right? Even if it was my cousin Chris Domkowski from Pennsylvania, right? Hypothetically, right? Allegedly, right? Because he allegedly called me homosexual one time, right? We were supposed to be sleeping in the downstairs basement together, right? Though I went to sleep before he even got in, right? And I was asleep when he got in. I don't know when he got in, right? And all I remember is waking up the next morning with him saying I was homosexual, right? And trying to accuse me of being gay, which I can only figure since I was starting puberty by then, right? Is I must have humped him in a wet dream while asleep, right? Which ain't humping him while awake, right? See, the gay people do that while awake, not asleep. Asleep, you can hump your own bed, right? Or your own mom or whoever's sleeping next to you. It don't matter if you're having a wet dream, right? It's not a conscious act, right? And both people do it whether they remember it or not, right? That's another thing about a wet dream. Whether you remember you're having one or not, whether something is in your underwear or bed, right, if you have on clothes, right? And I had on clothes too, right? I was dressed when I went to sleep that night and woke up the next morning, right? Things like that too, right? Though I don't recall when he actually came in to go to sleep himself, but that I had went to bed earlier, right? And was fully asleep whenever he came in, right? And I don't remember waking up in the middle of the night or anything, right? Now, who do you think would have a gay agenda against me if he can't let it go? Chris Domkowski, I would too. I would too. Or one of my gay cousins, I don't know. I don't know. But if it is someone I know, right, they again are pretending that again I don't have a choice. They think they don't have themselves, right? There you go again, right? I'm trying to tell them you do have the choice, and they're still trying to say, no, you don't. No, no. And that becomes argumentative again. Bye.